want to know what golf addiction looks like, you're staring at it right now.
Let's go, baby.
Started from the bottom, now we're here, slightly above the bottom.
Circling the wagons, baby. Circling the wagons.
Anchor.
Boom! Let's go! Maybe you guys will find some value in entertainment, but worst case, we're just documenting cool shit that we do. Cheers to Chris having hit the shot again.
Nope. Okay.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of the Firm Middle Podcast. I'm Brandon. I got Chris to my right and Shane to the left. Unbelievable, 2 episodes. Pretty exciting. So, what are we going to talk about today, Chris?
We're going to talk about what Shane said to me yesterday that confused the hell out of me. He said that it was Big Visor Summer. Now, I've heard a lot of things. There's White Boy Summer. There's all kinds of other stuff for everybody that's going wild in summer. You're going to have to explain to me what in the hell Big Visor Summer is, other than you got the Big Visor on right now.
Oh yeah, I mean, trying to be authentic as possible here. But
it's also white too.
I mean, pretty much you nailed it with just a play on, 2 years ago, Hot Girl Summer, City Boy.
I didn't get to participate in that.
City Boy Fall, all these things.
City Boy Fall?
Something like, Tom T. Hall Fall. There's some things. And
I've heard of none of these.
Neither have I.
Well, my algorithm might be a little different.
Probably so.
I don't know. But it's basically just my golf version of any one of those things that I don't think any of those influencers could probably accurately describe what it meant either. But it came from, I bought this visor at Waibu and I loved it. Never seen one in the store before. Picked it up immediately. Came back home with it. My wife, she was like, "What the hell is that?" I was like, "What, did you not watch Nick Faldo in the 90s? Do you not watch vintage golf clips on YouTube?" She was like, "I don't know what the hell you're talking about. How much you have to drink today?" I was like, "This is a good looking piece of classic golf gear here." And now that I see they still make them, I'm bringing them back along with Bo Hostler and Keith Mitchell.
All right.
They were on the train first. I just hopped on. And so, yeah, I'm pushing Big Visor Summer 2024.
I like it.
I too go back and forth between the bucket hat and the Big Visor.
Yeah, you do.
And the Big Visor is, but you gotta have the game to wear the Big Visor, I think. I don't think a newbie, I don't know.
No, I would not advise it. If you're in the parking lot getting your clubs out and you're walking around there, especially if you get invited to someone's club, be careful. Because if you got the Big Visor on, you're inviting all the smoke from whoever's there.
Yeah.
If you get paired up with some randoms, if you get paired up with some randoms and you walk up on the first tee with a Big Visor, I mean, they're probably going to want to take it from you. Be prepared.
The club's a big visor. The club's a Big Visor.
The club is a huge Big Visor place, and it just kind of threw gasoline on what I was starting to kind of lean into.
Yeah, no, they do. But I think it goes with golf attire in general. You can have the nice clubs, but there's something about a look. When somebody shows up to the first tee, boys got game, girls got game. They've got
look good, play good.
Correct. And so the visor, I think, just kind of is the top of it. You have that
Well, it is.
I think
it
they
is
have
the
game.
literal top of your outfit.
It is. That's true.
And like we covered in episode 1, not the tallest in stature guys. So you throw a big visor on, maybe give you extra half inch there.
How? Your head's actually literally poking out of the top of it. You're not getting anything extra on that.
It's make how you feel.
Oh, okay. Okay. We're at metaphorical inches here.
Yeah,
You
not
feel
literal.
bigger
All right.
with a big visor.
Not literal inches. Yeah, I think I agree with you that as somebody who is a big visor fan, and during our member guests, we went big visors all 3 days. No other options of that. The bucket hat for me more is sun protection at this point, because my wife just lays into me when I don't put sunscreen on. But I agree with the big visor. I think you got to kind of have the game to carry the big visor, and I wish more clubs, more brands brought them back. You don't see them in clubhouses or pro shops to buy very often.
No, which is why I nabbed this one, and I'm gonna have to go back to the place I bought it because I remember they had 7 different colors of the Titleist Pro V1 big visor. So I'm gonna have to go revisit them. But pretty much you'll notice I don't wear it every round. There's some rounds where may got a little banged up the night before, might be having some contact issues or something. You're like, we got to leave the big visor at home today. So it's only when you see the big visor come out, on me at least, if you want to play for a couple bucks, I'm down.
So the visor is your gambling hat. If
Not necessarily gambling hat, it's my striping hat.
striping hat. So that means you're going to score. You're going to hit it
No,
well.
it doesn't even mean we have to play for some money, but if I got it on and you proposition me, you'll probably take it.
He's not going to wear it unless he's feeling froggy, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
So when you guys go and play your next round of golf, if you get paired up with somebody with a big visor, throw it out there. Hey, you want to play for a couple bucks?
And
No,
if I run into someone else on the first tee with a big visor and we both got them, well, it's just obligatory. You got to get after it.
All right. So then, second question to that is, what if you go big visor, white shoes?
Don't play that guy. or if you do and you win against that guy's a fraud. Unless you shoot under par or something.
I'll follow you with the visor. I just can't follow you with the white shoes.
Why, you got the snakeskin.
I've got
shoes.
very nice white
And you wear
footwears,
them when?
but I wear them when we play really nice courses.
Which means when we play really nice courses, you are usually ultimately prepared to play that golf course.
Sure. They're also the hardest shoes I own to keep clean. They're the most comfortable shoes I own. They're the most expensive shoes I own. So naturally they get broken out in more special occasion type rounds. But I don't think, especially with my game, it's not like a prerequisite that, oh, I've got the white shoes on, I'm playing well today.
Well, I can say historically, when you throw the white lizards on and we play golf at a nice course, you typically have played well and broke 80 comfortably.
They are the best looking shoes I've
There's
got on, and
something
the
there.
look good, feel good, play good thing is at least partially real.
I think it's 100% real.
I just don't see someone wearing white shoes and think, oh God, that guy's a player.
Well, someone who's not a player,
So when we say white shoes, we don't mean like the white New Balance, like dad shoes. We're talking about the white, crisp, FootJoy, like
All leather.
premium. I don't even think the traditions
premiers.
count. Yeah, the
Yeah.
premiers. It needs to be the wood sole. So I do have a question when it comes to the white shoes, because I have white shoes with a pink outline on the sole. Is that still? They're fresh, but
oh no, what that tells me, because you wore them one time we played Charleston National and I had never seen them before, and it took me a couple holes to notice. I was like, oh, he's got some kind of custom job going on these white ones. Brandon came to play today. I better erase that double bogey real quick.
yeah, FootJoy hit me. It was after the Masters last year. I was doing some work on my computer, and they sent me an email, and it's like, hey, special edition. It was yellow, blue, and pink FootJoy white premieres with like a little just trim piece, and guilty of it.
Well, pink is part of your brand though, so.
It is. I live in it, but yeah, again, the white shoes have to be. I don't even think the traditions really count. Like the lower tier, I guess, more everyday FootJoy shoe. I think it's when you see that high-end FootJoy Premier, the classic, the Dry Joy as it was when we were kids. Like when you see that shoe, that is what we're talking about.
Okay.
Well, here's a PSA about it as well. If you see homie walk up to the golf course with the FootJoy all white classics and he's got metal spikes in them, just go back in and get another beer. Let him move on through.
Do they even let metal spikes on golf courses anymore?
Well, that's what I'm
Only
saying.
if you get caught.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he's got them on there, not allowed, I wouldn't mess with that guy.
So then the third piece of golf attire is, let's talk about the white belt. So white, so the visor doesn't matter what color, the shoes are white. Now you see somebody with a white belt.
They got the triple combo going.
Big visor, white classics, and a white belt.
I think I've only ever seen that at a tour event, but I'm sure there are guys out there doing it, and I have all three. But
You have a white belt?
It's not a completely white belt. It's white with the Arnold Palmer umbrella logos on it in a black inlay.
So I don't know if I consider the white belt.
Yeah, it's not a
white belt is
I'm talking about just a solid white, and not like off-white either, not like ivory or eggshell or anything, like white.
Okay, well, then I do not have one of those, but even if I did, my game's got to get a little bit better before I feel comfortable walking out there like that.
So as we were prepping for this conversation, we Googled golf white, and then as soon as we hit B, it put out belt, and then Chris pulled up some rules. What were the rules, Chris?
It was the 34, 34, 34 rule. You have to be under 34 years of age with a waistline, or your waist size under 34 inches, and you have to be able to card a score of 34 or lower on 9 holes.
Yeah, so I've got 2 weeks left to be in 34. Got the waist. It's like I have shot 34 on 9 holes, but if I'm taking the test, I don't know if I can do it with the lights on.
So I think it should be a YouTube challenge. Can Shane?
He's the only one in the group that can pull it off. I'm 38. You're 37.
I also don't have a 32-inch waist, if you've seen on YouTube.
Oh.
But I mean, it just is what it is. But I think that could be a challenge. Like, we sit here and talk about like content. Maybe we figure out, can Shane before his birthday break the 34, 34, 34 rule and officially? Because to me, it's like, if you can do it at 35, can you do it? Like, is it? Because if you say you've qualified, you've checked. I've never checked. I don't remember ever having a 32 waist, so I could have never worn a white belt. So
well, I'm sure that
maybe
the esteemed scientist on Reddit that I read that rule from, is perfectly qualified to make the judgment. But maybe 35 is okay. I think if you look good and you like the way you look, you're fine.
You're gonna like the way you look.
Correct.
You guarantee it?
This is just a perception. But it kind of puts you in a box on the golf course, because there are plenty of people who don't wear white FootJoy classic shoes, who don't have big visors, and probably don't even have a belt on, that will go out there and kick our ass on the golf course.
That's you're talking about the guy with all the fancy threads and everything on is who you're scared of in the parking lot. I'm scared of the guy in flip-flops with a hole in his shirt, and all of his clubs are rusty, and he's not going to warm up. He's going to go have 6 beers in the shop and then shoot 67.
Probably rip a couple heaters.
Yeah.
That's true too. That is definitely a valid stereotype. But when I see the guy with all the stuff on, the triple white combo, I'm like, all right, this guy's deep in the game. I don't know how deep, and I don't know if I want to find out.
Or maybe his game sucks so bad that he has to make himself into a fashion model to make him feel better about it.
See, that's the other side to it is, you see the golfers, we all have nice bag, nice clubs, head covers. Like, we take care of our stuff. We take a lot of pride in our golf bag. But like, you see the person on the golf course who has the nice stuff, who has the $700 driver and the woods and the irons, and they can't break 100. And I think that's the way they make themselves feel. It's like a weird balance of like, how do you not be the guy that's triple white, that versus the person who's all about brand, but then has no game. Because at the end of the day, having new clubs is nice. Like all that stuff's great. But if you can swing and hit the center of the club face, you can do it with any club.
Sure.
I just look at it as, I know there's people out there that wear all this stuff. We saw some of them in the member guest. And that's fine. It's like, for me personally, if I'm putting the all white, 'cause, I'll polish them up. I got a little jar of white shoe polish. I'll polish them up before the round, and I put the big visor on. What's going through my mind during that round is like, hey, we're striping. Like we're not playing around trying to shoot a 79. Like, we're trying to go low, and we end up shooting 79. But that's why I don't own one of the belts.
This is how golf is such a mental game. Is we're putting this much thought into what we're wearing. This is before you've even left your bedroom to go get in the car to go to the golf course. You're looking at yourself in the mirror going, what am I shooting today?
And the outfit
This game is ruinous for your mental health.
It's terrible. I mean, going into the member guest for Shane and I, we talked about our shirts for 6 weeks.
Easily. We went through numerous options.
I didn't know it was that much. I know you guys were going deep into fashion. I didn't realize you had taken that much time.
Brandon was sending me shirts that he liked, and I was like, well, these are all different brands, and different shirts fit differently. Like, FootJoy runs enormous.
Yes, FootJoy shoes run big.
Yeah, I'm talking about the shirts.
Oh, really?
The shirts are
I don't
enormous.
know any of
so
the
I'm
shirts.
like, all right, well, send me the link to the size chart so I can look at the dimensions before we do all this. Like, maybe we're figuring out what's wrong with my game here.
But I mean, we'd screenshot because we went 3 different brands. Then I learned that Shane doesn't like the
Euro collar,
blade collar, whatever you want to call it, because I'm a fan of them. And then, but yeah, we spent too much time worrying about our shirts to have matching shirts. And then I remember getting to the member guest on Friday, and one of my buddies who actually ended up winning the entire thing, he's like, "Oh, you guys went matching shirts," and he's like, "It's a curse." I'm like, "Really?" I mean, sure enough, we finished in the same spot that we finished in our flight every single time. But I guess so now it's like, do we wear the matching shirts and break the curse? Or is it like winning the par 3 of the Masters where...
I won the member at Holly Hill Country Club when I was 16 with my dad, and we wore the same shirts.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I want to break the curse.
Is it a sneak? I mean...
I'm just telling you, there is no curse.
There's no curse.
With the same shirts, though.
We were wearing the same shirts.
No, I'm talking about the same
all 3
ones
days
we wore in the last member guest.
Nice. Or 2 days, whatever it was.
We got matching Florence gear.
Nice.
My mom still got pictures. And then they wouldn't let me play in the tournament after that because I was too young. They got mad because we won.
Holly Hill got kind of crazy with us playing and stuff. The club championship, member, because we weren't 18 years old. And you and Martin, you guys would win some of that stuff. And
we all peaked pretty early. But yeah, played too well in the club championship tournaments when we were young and got outlawed.
But yeah, to the golf attire, man, but I will say, like, Maggie's bought into the golf attire part. So when we have tournaments, she goes through, she lays out she knows all my golf shoes. I think she knows about all of them. All my golf shoes, belts, pants, shorts, everything. And like, she laid out on Tuesday what I was gonna wear Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it was already hanging up, like, ready to go. And so 100% prepared.
It's a good lady right there.
It is. And so she knows, like, for Florence, when we go to Florence, Saturday night, she'll be like, all right, wear this shirt, this belt, this pants, these shoes, and she'll pick it out. But I think it makes a difference.
I think, honestly, yes, it does make a difference, because it's just how I am naturally. I can't wake up. Like, what, we have to meet at 5 a.m. to go to Florence, or 6 a.m. next week or something?
Yeah, we'll be rolling.
I
wheels
can't
up at
wake
6.
up and then just go look in my closet at that point and be like, well, all right, what do we want to wear today? No, that's night before, at least.
At least, yeah.
And you just feel more prepared. It's like less busy of a mind.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's not the clothes. It's the relinquishment of.
It's 100% psychological.
Well, yeah, not disagreeing there.
Yeah. I also enjoy cleaning my shoes the night before golf rounds.
I do that.
I take my laces out. I clean the
I
laces.
take the laces out.
I take all the spikes out. I take the bottom and I scrub them with a brush. Put all the spikes back in if they're a spike shoe.
Okay, then I take back what I said. I don't
Clean.
do that.
I clean.
I brush them off.
Clean them with the cleaner, and then I get my favorite shoe bag and whatever shoes I'm wearing that day. I put them in my shoe bag.
My favorite shoe bag.
You get your favorite shoe bag. I get my shoe bag. I don't have
use your
numerous shoe
not
bags.
favorite one.
Well, I have a couple shoe bags just to keep shoes in, but honestly, the stitch one, like the gray one that I have, is my favorite. And so whatever shoes I'm usually gonna go play that day, I'll throw them in that bag and
I
go.
just underestimate how big a diva you are.
I mean, it's kind of happened, I guess. I don't know, but I did ask Maggie if I could get like a shoe tree for my golf shoes, because apparently I have more than I realized I had.
I don't have that many pairs of golf shoes.
Yeah.
No, Alpine does.
I know he does.
I experiment.
I believe he does.
But I'm also experimenting with different shoes. Like I tried I'm a big minimalist shoe person. Not the amount of shoes.
I was about to say,
yeah,
the exact opposite of moron.
The style of shoe, meaning no sole. I like wider toe boxes, and so that's where I found like the True brand, which I really, really like that shoe. But then but like something about having that nice Premier FootJoy is like, I like the True brand shoe, and I like the wide box. I like the minimalist sole. But it doesn't feel the same as
That's
wearing.
the reason I wear my white ones on a nice course, because they're the nicest shoes I have.
Correct.
It's not because, like, oh, I got my white shoes on, I'm going to play well. They're my nicest shoes, I'm playing a
Yeah,
nice
there's
course.
a little bit of that in
There's
there.
a little bit of that. I'm
Yeah.
not going to.
Don't like.
I've got
don't
one.
Like
It's not shoes, belt, visor, anything. The one I've got, if you go back, watch a replay of 2019 Masters when Tiger won.
Okay.
Saturday's round. He's wearing this lilac striped, like like a real faint purple, real faint stripe mock turtle.
Thank you for defining that for me.
What do you mean?
Lilac.
Lilac, yeah. It's a soft purple.
Okay.
And that's what he was wearing on Saturday. I think he shot 67. Somebody had a big Saturday the year he won it. And yeah, look that up. Look up the shirt too. Yeah, just look him up on Saturday. I had a few too many cocktails watching that round, and got on Nike.com and ordered one.
That's a mock. It is.
Yeah,
it is
it's a mock. Trust me, I've got it. I've got it in the closet. And
We'll post an image on the screen for you guys to see. That's a mock though. You don't have a mock.
Yeah, I've got that exact shirt.
You have this shirt?
I have that exact shirt. I don't wear it very often, because if I show up at the golf course wearing the Tiger Woods lilac mock turtleneck, I do feel like everybody's looking at me going, if he doesn't shoot 66, then he needs to get his ass off the
See,
course.
that's what we're talking about.
I know.
Wear it
I'm not saying I
Sunday.
completely disagree with you. I didn't understand the whole visor thing.
All right,
Wear it
Shane.
to Florence.
I just sent it to you so we can put it in the screens. You guys can see it.
I'm actually fairly positive that if you look at the thumbnail on our Instagram handle, I'm wearing that turtleneck under a pullover at the Ocean Course.
I do remember in high
Because
school.
the caddy called me out on the first tee. And he was like, got the mock turtleneck on, huh? And I was like, zip.
I do remember
Shot 78.
in high school and at the Ocean Course. 78 any day is a great round, but I do
No
remember.
wind, tees were forward.
I do remember in high school you had that green Lacoste shirt that I think you wore to like
Every day.
every tournament. Like if Chris showed up for a scramble, and we were in high school, we won so many 4-man captain choice scrambles, and Chris wore that green Lacoste shirt all
That
the
was
time.
more a function of fit than anything else.
Just
And
fit great?
not the slang term fit, like it just fits me. I'm such a little dude that some shirts just fit me like dresses. It's hard to buy pants. It's really hard to buy shorts that fit.
Yeah.
So when I find a pair that fits, they're with me until they fall apart.
100%.
Big Lacoste guy. I can rock with that.
So they never made big guy stuff. So
No,
I
it's
went through shorts
definitely
then.
European.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need like the
sizes.
slim fit stuff, but it just so it would fit me normal because I'm tiny.
Yeah. I did notice, Shane, I got an Instagram thing about it, and our favorite pants brand, they came out with a 7-inch short now.
But
Because they just had 9-inch and they went to 7. I'm hoping they'll go to 5, and then we'll be.
I'm
we'll be
hoping they
good.
watch this.
Yeah. So we're not gonna say the name, but we're gonna hope. But yeah. So I mean, I think golf attire is a big deal. I think I think it makes you feel comfortable. It represents you as a person on the course, and then it does present some stereotypes that other people are going to think about you on the golf course.
Sure.
You know, go ahead.
I just thought of this because Ethan, our buddy, last time we played golf, he legitimately asked me this. So, we played a not very popular course. It's kind of like a muni type thing. And so I had my Road Dog Pumas on. Ethan goes, "Hey man," he's like, "You know why I don't wear my shirt untucked when we play golf?" I go, "No, never thought about it or anything." He goes, "Well, guys see a guy out on the golf course with an untucked shirt and they're probably like, hey, he might like to party. He's not a scratch or anything. He's probably cool." He goes, "That's why I don't tuck my shirt in."
Because he doesn't want people to think he's good?
Pretty much, yeah. Because he's not good.
So he's visually sandbagging.
Well, he's also not.
I know, but
Yeah.
he also doesn't want anybody to think he's good.
But so, I mean, so going to that, I mean, Ryan wears his shirt untucked.
Ryan's not a bad golfer, though.
That's my point, is he 99% and, you know, talks about how bad he is, and he's not. You guys will see in videos during a reverse mulligan, he drove the green twice on a par 4, but
Ryan Sneaky has worked on his game, and he's sneaky. He can play.
it's Pinehurst, and you guys are going to hear us talk about Pinehurst until we go to Pinehurst, and then after Pinehurst we're still going to talk about it because it's that big of a deal. But that's been the most fun part about it, is seeing people prepare for Pinehurst.
Well, everybody's so excited about it.
Yeah. So,
We mentioned it last time, but we've been playing golf for 25 plus years together since we were children.
and not all
this
of
is-
us, but just collective group, kind of, core group.
The core group
group,
of us,
yeah.
the core, like 4 of us that have been together so long, and we've never been on a golf trip together.
Yeah.
I've been, since the day we booked this, I've been thinking about nothing else.
Yeah. But to go back to the golf attire, now let's talk about some golf etiquette, because one thing that happened in 2020, obviously COVID, it blew up the game of golf. I mean, to a spot that has made, honestly, golfing sometime a little miserable. The rounds of golf take longer. Trying to get tee times is a lot harder. And it may not be everywhere in the country, I don't know. But I know from Charleston, just like getting restaurant reservations, trying to get golf tee times is damn near impossible unless you plan 7 to 10 days out. Yeah, you might get like a weird 3 o'clock in the afternoon, that's all we have. But you can't get the prime stuff in the morning, you know, dew sweeping, things like that. And so I'm curious to kind of hear your thoughts on like how golf has changed, grown. What are some etiquette things? Like what are you seeing in the last 4 years of kind of golf as it's growing?
The game growing as fast as it did obviously just brings in more and more people that haven't been doing it since they were small children, which is fine. I like to see that.
Yeah.
And my whole philosophy on the game of golf is that it should be fun. Like, golf is a game that's you're supposed to play. You know, we're not pros. Very few people, the top 0.001% actually play in tournaments. The rest of us are just out there having a good time.
Correct.
So the increase in, like, you know, music playing on the course and dress codes slacking off just a little bit, you know, I certainly have noticed that golf courses are a lot louder these days. We're a part of that. We're screaming "Let's go" and high-fiving and all that kind of stuff. A lot of stuffed shirts get upset about that kind of stuff, and it doesn't bother me in the least because I like the idea of the game growing. But just like we talked about a while ago with the waste management getting so out of control this past year, I've noticed that golf courses have gotten a little out of control in certain spots. Like, you see the group that comes swinging around the putting green to hit the turn, and they've got 76 beer cans in the cart, and the music's blasting, and everybody on the putting green's looking at them like they're crazy. Like, some of that could be cut out a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I think it's, and what it does is it makes, and we'll use Santee, a video we just recorded, as a prime example of it.
Okay.
Like, we showed up to record the video, and as we're learning YouTube golf, like, do we we're not big names like Bob Does Sports and Horvat and those guys. So like, I know they reach out and say, hey, we're going to have a production crew. This is what's going to happen, and they have to get permission or not permission. And for us, it's like, we have just us filming it. In this instance, we did have my nephew helping us. But like, we got a bunch of pushback for not as much having a camera, how long it took us on the first tee. Because again, everybody's got to get their ball markers and their divot tools and, your ball marked, and like, just get ready for a round of golf. That always takes a couple minutes. The first tee is always the slowest tee of any round. And then having a third cart, like they didn't want that at all. And I think it's because they're worried about maybe somebody partying too much or taking too long or doing this. And it hurts the game for other people when people aren't aware of like what's around them. Pace of play is the biggest one. Is they were worried, I guess, our pace of play would have been too slow. We held nobody up. We did let one group play through, which I think ultimately we shouldn't have done. But regardless,
they both made snowmans from my count.
But it's again cool.
We finished a full round of golf in under 4 hours.
It was like 4.5 with letting them play through it. But yeah,
that's what I'm saying. We finished
with filming. We did it in like 4 hours, and I think that's where it's kind of hurt the game with some of because like we've definitely had the beer cans in the cart. We've definitely had the music, but when we go to the turn, we turn the music down. When we throw our trash cans away, we are still of the mindset of like how we were growing up. It was like, just be respectful to the grounds that you are on. And then enjoy the golf, and when you come back, like, it is what it is. And like, you'll have dynamics, and I'll bring Pinehurst in as a last example. It is this magical turn. Like, if you guys have never been, you go on the putting green, and it's kind of I'm gonna use the word fratastic on the putting green. They got music going, hats are backwards, people are barefoot, drinks are just flowing. I mean, drunk groups probably be there. And then you like turn the corner, and it's just like a mystique. You have it gets real quiet real fast. It does. You have the 18th green on number 2, and you have the little bar that wraps around. You have the Payne Stewart statue, and so it's like, all right, cool. Well, we know once we turn that corner, it's game on to golf. Now we're on this corner. I might throw my shoes off. I might turn my hat backwards. I might, yell at one of my friends, like scream to them. But like, I know turning that corner, and I think that's where the balance of like learning how to do both is.
I think it pretty much echoes what you're saying, just with a little more context. But like, Pinehurst is in the business of knowing what the hell is going on with the game of golf, right?
Sure.
They're an institution. At this level, especially because Charleston just grew so much over a short period of time, and some of these local courses they're not expected, nor should they be, to be, cutting edge like how Pinehurst is with everything. So I think they have had a lot of stuff go on over the past few years on golf courses, and so they don't know really. They see us with cameras roll up. They're like, hey, we don't know if these guys, second time ever playing golf ever, they don't know that we're about that life. And so it's just one of the, I don't know how you solve it either, but I think they look at real golfers coming out there, and they're like, dude, we don't know. You say you have a YouTube channel. We don't know if your goal is to like burn the course down or not.
Yeah, are you guys out? Yeah, I mean, and we in Santee, we did do reverse mulligan challenge. So I mean, we drank a little more than we usually ever drink on the golf course. But again, still respectful. We threw our stuff away. We took care of everything, and it's that. And I think what it leads to is like the epidemic at the farm is your divots. Like,
that's what the only point I would ever even attempt to make, like on a hard line thing, is I don't really care at all about people blasting music. I don't care how you're dressed. I want everybody to go out there and have fun. But part of respecting everybody around you, like, turn the music down a little bit when you roll up on another group.
Yeah.
Or when you're making the turn, just be respectful of the ground you're on. You made that point. It's a great point. Fix your ball marks and rake the bunkers, for the love of God.
Please.
Yeah, the bunkers is
Fix ball. If you're
one.
lucky enough to hit a green in regulation, or not in regulation, if you throw a ball high up in the air and it makes a mark on the green, congratulations, you hit a good shot. Now fix that mark, because I'm going to have to putt over it.
And if you don't make a mark, fix somebody else's mark. Like,
No,
make it a goal.
You should fix every mark you see on the green with it, time permitting.
Correct. And make a goal. At least fix one at a time. Like, if every golfer goes through it, fixes theirs +1, the greens would be in such better
Eventually,
condition.
people won't be able to do that because they'll be fixed.
Correct.
It's hard
100%.
enough to. It's so hard when you play public courses and you play munis and you play the golf courses we play. Like you're a member at Sneed Farm. That's a private course. It's a nice golf course. The majority of the courses we play are public tracks, and there's
Correct.
nothing wrong with public tracks, but they get the most abuse. They get
Correct.
the most amount of golf played. That those are the ones that you've got 8-minute tee times, and you're running as many people through them as you can because it's a for-profit organization. When that many people go through and they don't rate the bunkers, they don't fix their ball marks, they run their shoes across the greens, little stuff like that, it doesn't take long to add up to poor conditions.
Correct. And I know we've talked about the etiquette, but something we all just learned, I know I learned it in the last couple months, you learned it recently at the PGA, and then you learned it last week playing golf.
Yeah, y'all taught me.
It's how when you rake bunkers, so we'll just give you a little tip with it, push the rake versus pull the rake.
Yeah, don't rake.
And
push.
Again, people who've played golf 20 plus years just learned it, and it makes a big difference.
Less than a week ago I learned this, and it makes an entire, I've always raked bunkers way longer than I should because I want it to be good when the next person throws their ball in there. But then I realized if you just push the rake, they're like perfectly conditioned after 2 or 3
and you
passes.
kind of like push them left, and it just kind of floats out and stands perfect.
Yeah, I tested it after y'all told me that on the 3rd hole. I was like, what are these guys talking about? And then, sure enough, I was in a bunker like 2 holes later. I was like, I'm gonna test this out.
I got mad about it.
Sure enough, I was like, oh wow. I never thought about it. A lot of times I would like rake it and push it, and I don't know which one I ended on. But after, dedicated effort of trying that, I was like, oh yeah, I see the difference.
And the difference is when you pull, the pitch marks of the rake leave those holes. And again, it's still better than nothing, but when you finish with that push, it kind of just brushes the sand flat, and there's no. And I can't remember. It was one of the PGA golfers had like a step-in caddy or something one day, and I can't remember why again, it was an Instagram thing, and the guy said there were 2 rules, and I don't remember what the first rule was, but the second rule was rake the bunkers perfectly every single time. And that was like the rule of the caddy, was his job for the pro was to make sure that bunker was perfect for the next person that had to experience the bunker. And I remember at the member last year at Sneed, I guess somebody poorly raked a bunker, and one of the members threw the biggest fit, uncalled for fit, and I was like, so then that made me think, like, do I not know how to rake a bunker? Like, have I left somebody with a bunker like this before? Because I mean, it was.
I got so mad at somebody else. You were thinking twice.
He was so mad at somebody else. Like, he called the pro shop. He took a video, like, massive tantrum, and
sounds like he wasn't playing too well anyway.
we beat him. But I mean, it was the point, like, let's just go to the next hole. But I was like, do I not know how to rake a bunkers? And then I saw the push thing, and I changed, and then I didn't know that you guys didn't know, so I didn't tell you. And so we don't know if the internet knows, but now you guys know. All 6 people who are going to watch this or listen to this.
I just can't believe I've been playing golf for 30 years and how many thousands of bunkers I've raked. Apparently I was doing it wrong.
Yeah, no idea. Now there is one guy we played with in just an exhibition little match, not on camera or anything, this was months ago, who was like a college baseball player or something, and me and him both hit it in the fairway bunker on 5 at Sneed, and he goes, no, I'll rake the bunker, don't worry about it, I got you. He was like, I'm pretty particular about how I rake bunkers. So I was just interested. I was like, well, let me see how you do it. And he kind of took it to that next level, like, when you see him out before a baseball game, like getting the it took him like 5 minutes of raking to do it. And I was like, all right, that's cool, but apparently he knew. He knows how to rake.
Put him on the grounds crew.
He hits the ball less than us, so he had time to rake.
Yeah,
he hit the ball less times than we did. So, but so I mean, sorry about the weird etiquette. It was just something, I think it's an interesting topic. Nobody talks about that much.
I just got real frustrated last couple of rounds.
Yeah.
I don't hit very many greens, so when I do, and there's like 15 little pock marks that you have to plinko around,
And
it doesn't take much effort to fix a ball mark.
yeah, and we're like, people ask me, and I'm sure you guys get this question too. It's like, can I come play golf with you? And they know that I love golf. I'm better than them, not and just maybe they're newer, whatever it is. And I just tell them, I was like,
Sure about
listen, I mean, I don't. That's just their assumption. But they're like, well, you probably don't want to play with me. I'm not good. And I was like, listen, I don't give a shit about what you score on the golf course. Do I love playing around with 3 single-digit handicaps and everybody shooting in the 70s? That's a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, I don't care who's in my foursome. We like playing music. We like having fun. We like talking shit to each other. But the biggest thing that I tell everybody, I was like, take care of the course and then keep up with pace. You know, and that goes in line with kind of how the game's growing, is these newer people coming into the game. Like, that's kind of the rules. Like, just take care of the course, keep up with pace, and have fun. That's where the game should go and lead to, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm probably more lax than most on the whole pace of play thing. Like,
No.
it doesn't.
Shane has been accused of playing slow back.
Oh, yeah. And I've actually done a lot of work on speeding up. And I don't take practice swings at all, and still get criticized just from years past. But you said it earlier, Chris, when the demand went up so much, it used to be like 12, 15-minute tee times, and now there's one local course here I'm not going to say the name of, but they're down to like 6 minutes tee times.
That's ridiculous.
And that's where it took me and a buddy. We were a twosome, had a threesome, but it was too slow for him, so he left after 9. It took us 6 hours just to play a standard Saturday morning 18 holes. And I mean, that's a problem.
Yeah,
but like, if you're a threesome playing in 4 hours and 15 minutes, like, that doesn't bother me. I'm not keeping up with people down to the minute.
I'm in that 4.5, 4:15, 4 hours. When we play on Wednesday mornings, we're playing in under 4 hours. Like, if there's nobody in front of us, our pace is always under 4 hours. That's not, but as long as it's moving, like, even 5 hours is kind of like, all right, maybe we've waited a couple shots, because generally you'll wait on par 5s because people are trying to reach in 2, or par 3s because obviously if you miss the green, scrambling around. But once you start creeping in that over 5 hours, man, it is a miserable round of golf, especially humid, hot, just unfun.
5 is a little tough.
It is. I prefer not 5, but I can understand 5 if we're moving a little bit. Like, if we're not waiting every single shot.
Well, you can also tell, like, if the group in front of you is sitting in their carts waiting on somebody, like, it is what it is. But if the group in front of you is moving, as like, you can watch. If they hit their shot, mark it, step back, other guy hits it, they next person steps up. If they're playing the game and it's taking a little long, who cares?
Yeah.
I think it could be for a host of reasons, but also could be a lot of new golfers is, while you're hitting, especially if I'm in a different cart, I should be already getting my yardage, picking my club and stuff while you're hitting. So you hit, 15 seconds later, my ball should be in the air.
The vast majority of pace of play issues are caused away from the ball.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's in between shots. Because once you've hit a shot, especially a long shot, a tee shot or an approach shot or something like that, there's numerous things you could be doing to get ready for your next one. And you can still take a slow walk and enjoy a conversation and have a drink and whatever, but you're not waiting until you get to the next shot to say, oh, now I need to figure out what we're doing. You're gonna save a couple of minutes each time.
Correct.
Just by thinking a little bit ahead.
Yeah.
I remember when we were down in Florida playing and we had caddies every round. Part of their job is to keep
Pace
up
of play
with
is
the
a big
pace
part
of
of their
play,
job.
and
Yeah.
like they will tell you down to the minute, like, hey, we're 14 minutes behind and stuff like that. And so we had a couple higher handicap guys in our groups, and they had like 4-footers for double or triple or something, they'd be like, guys, give them those putts. He'd be like, we save 2.5 minutes by doing that right there.
Yeah.
And you're 12 minutes behind. So I was like, oh, I wasn't even counting what he was.
Yeah. I think Pinehurst we've played with a caddy recent. I thought you and I played with a caddy where the shot clock was it wasn't us. I think it was a group in front of us where the caddy said like we were behind pace. Because I do remember now.
I don't recall.
I don't think it was the Ocean Course, but I thought where somebody said something about the time. I didn't realize until I know caddies are there to keep pace moving, but I didn't realize they knew like to the time, like until that moment, we're 7 minutes behind, or whatever it is.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with these guys when they dropped the specific minute we should have been through 7 holes or whatever it was. And I actually got given a couple putts for double because of it.
So take what you can get.
I was like, yep, y'all heard the caddy. Keep it rolling.
Yeah, and so, and that'll be good for us when we go to Pinehurst, because the people, with how tough the conditions are going to be, like I think
there's going to be some big numbers in the second group. There's going to be some big numbers in our group. But there's going to be some big numbers in the second
there
group.
will be, and I think, it's just like, hey.
What y'all are telling me about the greens, yeah,
It's tough,
be a
man.
couple
It
big
really,
numbers.
it really is. If you're used to playing these flat resort course type conditions that we play on a regular basis, you get on those big mounded turtle shell shaped greens. It's a mind bender more than anything else.
I got the Muni experience. I'm gonna just have to rely on that.
Number, was it 5 the bowl, or 6 is the bowl at Muni? Whichever
6.
one. Sit the bowl. Imagine the bowl just reversed. So everything feeds in, but just the opposite. I remember Pinehurst. It was number 4. It wasn't even on number 2. So we weren't even on the harder of the 2 courses. And you and the caddy had a disagreement of lines on what it was like a 55-footer triple breaking some really difficult putt on 4.
was that?
It was on the back 9 of 4, I think.
Oh, I remember.
chipped it.
Yeah, okay.
And
You tell the story and I'll correct it.
And I mean, well, I don't remember it. I just remember the caddy, because one thing they do, they'll help you with reads.
Mm-hmm.
And the caddy picked a spot for Chris to putt, and he's
Didn't believe it.
He's like, no.
I
He's
did
like,
not believe that.
This isn't it.
There's no way.
And it was such an awkward, kind of the caddy's like, here. Chris is like, well, I think you almost had to break it the other way.
No, we had our reads were going in opposite directions.
Correct. It was, and I was like, man, this is, and again, that's where you get into the Pinehurst, these breaks that you don't, and there's subtleties, because you want to believe the caddies because they know some of the secrets of the greens. Like, do they break to the railroad tracks? Do they break to the water? Do they break north? Do they do certain things? And then some of them, you're like, I can't believe this.
Well, they're caddies. They're not. I guess technically they're professional caddies. Most of them are really good,
Yeah, this guy was like a.
but they're not. I mean,
I
they're
ran
not
in.
tour caddies. They're not going to. Even professionals get reads wrong.
I ran into that at Stream Saw.
Hello.
I had a few putts because I had the same caddy all 3 days, and there were numerous putts where I'd be like, all right, man, I'm looking at a cup out right. He was like, no, 3 cups left. I was like, I do not see that. I don't know what is wrong with me, but I do not see that. But I would just roll with what he said.
Yeah,
I mean, the second I disagree with him,
99.9% of the time, I'm going to do what the caddy says and just
put
trust it.
1 cup right, and then he was right, and I miss it, and it rolls down off the green, and now I'm chipping.
Well, this one was noticeable. I just remember being in the group, and it was noticeable that Chris disagreed with the caddy. And again, most of the time you're like, because the caddy we had for number 2, he'd be like, hey, put at this brown marker, put at this, and you're like, all right, cool. And you're just like, hey, what's the read? And you just kind of trust him. This one, this caddy was more of a carrying your bags, giving you local knowledge versus as much of, I think, the skill set of, because a lot of caddies are +4, +5, +6 handicap golfers. And so obviously I'd much rather somebody at a +5 handicap read my greens than me.
I know I would.
So.
Struggle enough.
We got good advice pretty much the entire time we were there. We just had one disagreement on the green.
So let's talk about the bet at Pinehurst. Now that we've told you guys all about the etiquette, let's talk about the bet.
Okay.
You guys, I'm just in the group chat that was in the middle of it, but apparently there's something that is on the line now.
We had too much to drink after a round of golf, started talking shit to each other, and now we both have decided to put something we were saving for a special occasion on to the special occasion trip.
So now I have to buy one because I don't own one.
No, you don't have to be
You're
part
gonna
of
have
this.
to find
no.
one.
Yeah, good luck finding one. That's the reason this whole... All right, so
I can tell you where one is, but
I can get one. I'll get one.
Shane and I both drink a fair amount of bourbon.
Yeah.
And I used to, back before another thing that just blew up part of the world is bourbon. I used to drink a lot of Blanton's. It used to be $40 a bottle, 2 rows deep on the shelf at any big box liquor store you go to. And now it's impossible to find. And if you do find it, you're going to pay way too much for it. It's great stuff, but it's not, I mean, it's not worth $250 a bottle like you see behind the glass some places
Yeah,
that are
definitely.
holding on to it. But recently, Shane and I have both come into bottles that we found randomly in the back corner of a store, got them for a decent price, and we both said, we're going to save these since they're so hard to find.
Okay.
We're not opening these until one of us breaks par.
Okay.
Doesn't look like that's happening anytime soon.
been a while.
Yeah, I don't
had
want
an
the,
unopened bottle for going on 2 years now.
Well, I've had mine longer than that. And we decided that, okay, since that's what we're holding off for special rounds, screw breaking par, we're going to go, how many holes are we playing at Pinehurst? 36?
54.
54.
54?
And then you got, so is TR part of it or no?
No, just the Pinehurst.
Okay,
yeah.
just the 10, 3,
Tobacco
and
Road's
2.
such a wild-ass concept,
Got
and
it,
none of
okay.
us had ever even seen it, so I don't...
Yeah, so 54 holes of golf,
So 54
stroke
holes of
play,
golf. Yeah, it's just
gross.
no strokes, no nothing, just 54 and add them up. Whoever loses has to open theirs.
Okay.
And we're going to drink a lot of liquor.
And I'm in. So I
You're
will.
just going to be a happy accident part of it.
Nope. I will find a bottle between now and Pinehurst, and we'll post it. We'll
Okay,
bring
so
it.
new side bet, we both have to beat him so we can drink
That's-
his
I mean-
way overpriced one, because if he finds one before we leave, he's going to pay too much for it.
I've seen it on the shelves. I didn't realize.
You're going to overpay for it. It's a $40 bottle of liquor.
All right.
It's a
I've-
really
I mean,
good,
I've
it's a
had-
really good $40
I know. I've
bottle of
had
liquor.
it. I mean, I know. I've had it because I know. People like collecting the letters, and they would have the little
Yeah.
things. And
Yeah,
have
yeah,
the-
there's like 6 or 7 different, the racehorse on top. If
Yeah.
you get all of them, it
spells Blanton's, right?
I don't know if it spells it. I know they gallop. Like,
It's
Yeah.
something.
I think it spells
Yeah,
Blanton's.
because people collect them. I've
Yeah,
read
'cause
about
I-
it.
yeah. See, I'm learning something here.
Yeah, I think it spells.
I just know it tastes good.
Yeah, because I remember like an old business partner. He needed an S to like finish his collection.
Okay.
And so we a friend of mine that ran a liquor store in Somerville called me. He's like, hey, I just got an S in, and I remember going and getting it for him. But yeah, so that's it. So 54 holes. Loser opens their bottle of
Loser has to
Blanton's.
open up their bottle of
These
Blanton's.
going to be home pours too, brother.
No, when,
They'll
once,
be some four fingers.
There's-
once the-
Saturday
once
night,
once we pull the top out of it, you can put the racehorse on the wall back here if
Right.
you want to, but we're not capping the bottle back off. We're going at it.
So we're just gonna repeat Saturday night at Pinehurst.
Yeah, that's a story. Ooh, God.
Because like the cool thing, and again, you'll probably be tired of it. We won't, but when we talk about this magical spot, like you got the cradle, you got all this stuff, and so I think Saturday night, dude, we're gonna have TR on Thursday, Tobacco Road. For those of you who don't know, we're playing number 10 on Friday, and so that's gonna be nice because just one day. So like, I think we're teeing off at like 10 or 11 o'clock, so we'll be done at a
Mid-morning.
normal hour. So then everybody has the choice to continue the night or go to bed at 10 o'clock because we're dropping 36 on Saturday. And this is all walking, all caddy carry. So in the middle of the summer in July.
It's going to be a grind.
Yeah, and so Saturday night when we're done, because we're also playing the Cradle Friday and Saturday, and the Cradle is their 9-hole golf course. And so
Par 3 course.
Par 3 course, yeah. And so we're gonna be exhausted, excited, all things,
Ready for a drink.
and ready for an adult beverage. And Pinehurst just does a really good job of leading you to the beverages. Whether it be they had like a deconstructed transfusion was their big drink that they did, and then obviously the bourbon bars that wrecked our night.
If you're sober there, it's your own decision.
It is 100%. It is your own.
It's not because you can't find it.
I mean, that was never been to Pinehurst. I didn't go with y'all last year, but Stream Song was similar to the same way. They're like, hey, we're out here in the middle of nowhere. We got like 7 bars. Have at it, boys. Should be fun.
Yeah.
See how the group holds up.
Well, that's got to be the best way to set up a golf resort is keep everybody on campus, right?
Oh, yeah.
Ideally, you want groups to finish up and stay on property to drink and eat and, have your fellowship times rather than going out into the city or something and finding a bar.
Well, and that's what they do well there. And you guys, we've been when we check in Friday mornings, we're doing Airbnb Thursday. When we drive in Friday morning and check in, you never drive again. You don't even
I like that.
You don't even see your golf clubs again. Like, they take your golf clubs to the pro shop and store them in, and so if you need some wedges to go to the cradle, you just go down there and say your name and they'll hand you 4 or 5 wedges or irons or whatever you need in your putter. But yeah, and the shuttle just takes you to anything, the brewery, the hotels, the golf course, everything.
Can't wait, everybody. Because cousin Joey that's going with us to Pinehurst, he went last year as well, and he echoed everything y'all have said about it.
It was as much fun as I've ever had on a golf weekend.
Yeah. So, well, cool deal. Well, that'll wrap episode 2. Appreciate you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Check us out on all the platforms.
Go play golf. Have fun.
Please.
See you, boys.